The menu starts with Robert McGrath at Scottsdale, Arizona. He offers a skillet gratin with crawfish tails, vegetables, and the surprising addition of foie gras. For the main course, Peter DeYoung in Beaufort, South Carolina offers salmon 2 ways, as a Napoleon seared with honey and rosemary, and as tartare. The finale is from J.J. Stith in Las Vegas. She presents her rendition of banana cake, flavored with milk chocolate custard and served with hazelnut chocolate sorbet. The Roaring Fork is a popular spot in Scottsdale. It is also a river that runs through Aspen, Colorado. The restaurant touts the great Western cuisine of Robert McGrath. He helped open it in 1997 after getting much attention at the Scottsdale Phoenician Resort. Here is his crawfish skillet gratin.
We start with some bacon, pearl onions, green beans, shallots, mushrooms, red bell pepper, and garlic. I think the bacon, the fat cooking out of the bacon, we're not a health food restaurant, by the way, in case you all haven't picked up on that yet. But the flavor of the bacon, the pork fat, to me really works well with shellfish. Whether it's crawfish or lobster or shrimp, I like that association very much. We're going to add some green beans, some pearl onions, and we're going to get this mixed up a little bit. That went right in the garbage can for you TV viewers at home. We would never throw any food on the floor here.
The beans and onions were pre-cooked.
I'm going to add some mushrooms, get those started. And some chopped shallots. And some red bell pepper. Now the red bell pepper has been roasted, peeled, cleaned out of seeds, and then cut into a sort of a coarse shape. We try to get our cuts here looking as natural as possible. We're not into very highly manicured foods. We're more concerned with the quality of the ingredients that we're using and with the overall flavor of the dish.
The last ingredient was chopped garlic.
After we've added those ingredients, and let those saute for just a little bit, we're going to add some crawfish tails. Excuse me. Now you can use rock shrimp to substitute for the crawfish if you're not in a part of the country where you have access to these. To me, the crawfish, the meat's very firm and sweet. Again, it works well with the bacon. And we're going to let those warm up just a little bit. We're going to get this burner hot because we're going to be topping this off with a little piece of magic here in a second. We're going to add white wine. We're going to let that reduce quickly. And we're going to add a little bit of cream. I suggest that before you add the entire amount of the cream in the recipe, that you let this reduce first a little bit. And then we're going to add a little adobo sauce. Now, you don't need much of this. You can get a lot of mileage out of a small amount of this. And this is available pretty much around the country anymore. You should be able to find these, this adobo sauce in most Mexican food sections of just about any restaurant, not even a specialty restaurant. If you have trouble finding just the adobo sauce, you can always find the chipotle chilies in adobo sauce, and then just use your spoon to collect the sauce out of that. We're going to add a little kosher salt and a little fresh cracked black pepper. We're going to pull that over here and just continue to reduce that. And I'm going to get this skillet hot real quick. Now, one of the things that we like doing at this restaurant is what we call cutting flavors. We like the flavors to be highly contrasting. So they need to be compatible. They need to be flavors that will work together, but that cut through each other, so that heightens the sensation of each of the flavors. We are not into doing the homogeneous flavors and everything's so subtle that the nuances are barely perceivable. We want the flavors to be robust. We want them to slash through each other. And so this is why we add something like the chipotle or the adobo sauce into the crawfish, and why we're going to top it with some Hudson Valley foie gras. This has become something of a very recognizable ingredient in a short time. Michael Ganor has really enabled this product to get into the mainstream. Now you want this skillet just to get hot enough where you're just about smoking, but I don't want to put it on this right now on the heat. I want to pull it off the heat a little bit and let it sear off the heat. And I'm going to take this crawfish gratin that we've done, and we're going to put it into a small skillet. You want to keep an eye on the foie gras behind you. You do not want to let it overcook or burn, because it will just reduce itself into fat. So I'm going to top this with a little bit of the sauce we have in here. We're going to sprinkle some breadcrumbs on top. Now you can do this in a bowl as well. It does not need to be done in a skillet. And then we're going to take this piece of foie gras and just add it right on top. And from there you would put it in your broiler at home. And we're going to let that brown up nicely. We're going to take that, we're going to serve it on a plate with a folded napkin to keep the skillet from sliding around. And we're going to garnish it with some small sprigs of chervil. Now this dish can be done in a variety of ways. Obviously, the way we're doing it is simply a suggestion. If you don't prefer to have cream in your recipe, omit the cream. If you don't care to have the adobo sauce in there, omit the adobo sauce. The idea here is we're trying to give you a dish that has the potential to be moved around according to your particular taste, but you need the crawfish, you need the onions, you need the foie gras, and what we have here is a skillet gratin of crawfish, green beans, and foie gras.
The Beaufort Inn in the quiet South Carolina town of the same name featured the food of Peter de Jong. He calls it New Southern Cuisine, and he's offered it to some pretty big stars, Sharon Stone and Entourage, who showed up late, and Robert Duvall, who served his party. Here's Salmon Napoleon and Tartare. The chef begins with puff pastry. He'll cut scallop discs, which will become layers of the Napoleon, and a sawtooth-edged crown garnish. The crown is shaped in a small ramekin. It will be filled with dried beans before baking. Holes are poked into the disc to inhibit too much rising. Egg wash is brushed on and all are baked at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now the salmon is cut.
Going to need some slices of salmon about an inch thick.
The salmon rounds are part of the Napoleon, while the scraps will be used for the tartare.
With the pieces of salmon, we're going to make a little salmon tartare.
Most of the standard ingredients that garnish tartare are included here, but they're all mixed together in the food processor, including onion, capers, Dijon mustard, and egg yolk. You don't want to go too fine. Now we're seasoning the salmon with fresh rosemary. The salmon is sautéed in butter.
And you want to cook this medium rare.
Honey tops one surface of the disc. Sautéed zucchini is a side dish. It's cooked in hot garlic-infused oil. Balsamic vinegar is added. A little caviar garnishes the tartare. J.J. Stith graduated from the California Culinary Academy in San Francisco, then worked in several Bay Area restaurants, including one Market. Now at Aqua restaurant in the fabulous Bellagio Hotel, she offers her creative desserts to that exclusive clientele. Here's a chocolate banana cake. The banana bread is begun by creaming butter with the paddle attachment.
And then dump in the brown sugar and the white sugar. Now I'm going to be adding the eggs with a little vanilla, with the vanilla extract in them. Slowly whip it up some. And I add the bananas all at once.
The riper the bananas, the better. Now that the bananas are smashed, add in the flour, baking soda, and salt. The flour's been sifted with the baking soda. And since I'm making this in a small mix, I usually mix it a little bit before I put it back on, so you don't have a flour storm or dust storm. The batter goes into a buttered loaf pan and is baked at 350 degrees for an hour. The milk chocolate custard begins with hot, heavy cream with the meat of a scraped vanilla bean added.
Thanks, Jen. I'm going to whisk the hot cream into the milk chocolate slowly, so it's not to break it. Boy.
After the mixture is incorporated, it's set aside to cool before egg yolks are added.
Slowly whisk the custard into the, slowly whisk the chocolate mixture into the egg yolks. I'm tempering is what I'm doing, so I don't break the eggs or overcook the eggs.
The custard is strained, then will be combined with a portion of the cooled banana cake.
After it's cooled, I took about half of that and I ground it fine, like breadcrumbs, I guess. You need about 8 ramekins or tin balls, which these are stainless steel tin balls lined with, you spray them and line them with paper. And it's going to get baked in a little hotel pan or a little baking dish. To this, we're going to add some really finely chopped milk chocolate of good quality. And you add enough custard just to make a smooth paste. For about that half loaf of banana bread, it's about a cup, maybe 2 cups of liquid. And you fill the molds.
The molds are cooked in a water bath for an hour in a 300-degree oven. Rotate the pan halfway through.
Design on the plate with just regular piping chocolate. Mint sauce. Don't show that side. This is chocolate and caramel mixed together and piped into a lattice shape.
Finally, chocolate hazelnut sorbet.
Finished presentation, milk chocolate banana cake with gianduja sorbet.